Hello, and welcome to the 80 Ways to Supercharge Your Business Growth webinar. If you are a small to medium-sized business owner or decision maker interested in growing your business, you are in the perfect place because we will be equipping you with 80 ways to do just that. My name is Mindy, and I will be today's moderator. Today's speaker is Logan Johnson. Logan is the founder and CEO of ITA, which is a managed IT service provider offering turnkey IT solutions to small and medium-sized businesses across the nation. Possessing a true entrepreneur spirit, Logan had started and sold 2 businesses to a national competitor and was hard at work starting his 3rd company by the time he turned 22. Logan has been in the IT field for nearly 10 years and recently graduated with a master's in business management and information systems at Liberty University. Lastly, there will be a Q&A session at the end of the webinar where Logan will be available to answer any questions. I will now hand the floor over to our presenter, Logan Johnson.
Thank you, Mindy. And with introductions out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into today's content, which is 80 ways to supercharge your business growth. First, I want to address the elephant in the room and say I'm not covering all 80 ways to supercharge your business growth in 45 minutes, if that wasn't already evident. Rather, some very creative people at Microsoft designed a beautiful ebook that collected invaluable lessons learned from some of the most brilliant minds in business. You can download the ebook by clicking the little monitor icon, which is named the share icon at the bottom of your meeting window. Or for those watching this on demand after this webinar has already been concluded, you can find the ebook in the resource section of our website at ita.guru, which is G-U-R-U. The ebook covers these 5 topic areas and provides about 15 ideas or tips on each topic. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into the concepts talked about in Chapter 4, Leveraging Your Technology. My goal here today is to provide some deeper insight into the concepts discussed in Chapter 4 by sharing some of the knowledge that took me years of field experience and studying, along with $80,000 of student loans to acquire. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started with our first topic for today. And this brings us to digital equity, our first concept to unpack. Digital equity consists of your business's ability to consistently attract customers online, exploit technology to automate manual processes, and to protect your customers from cyber attacks. Today, we're going to be focusing on measuring your business's ability to attract customers online while reducing manual efforts via tech automation and protecting your customers from cyber attacks. Have their own seminar dedicated to just those topics. Attracting customers online requires 2 things. The first requirement is the ability to transact your business online. Whether that means selling a product via an e-commerce store or the ability to simply have a customer pay an invoice online, the definition of transacting business online will vary from one business to another. To give you just one example, ITA is a service-based company, which means that we don't have a need to sell a product on our website. Rather, we have a sophisticated client portal that allows our clients to pay their invoices online, approve quotes, open support tickets, and generate a plethora of IT-related reports. This client portal that we've designed is our way of transacting a large portion of our service through our website. The second requirement to attract customers online is mobile-ready content. This includes your website, potentially a mobile app, and redesigning any other content you have traditionally made available so that it is easily consumed on a mobile device. Now, the good news for you is that as a small to medium-sized business owner, the majority of your competition is completely failing to address these 2 requirements. You'll see here that over 67% of small businesses cannot transact online, and over 90% of small businesses are not mobile ready. This means you have a significant opportunity to separate yourself from your competition by adding to your website the ability to conduct business transactions online, whether that be selling a product or collecting a client's contact information, and ensuring that your website and other online content is also mobile ready, which we'll get into what that means to be mobile ready here in just a few moments. The importance of conducting business through your mobile-ready website is further emphasized by the fact that over 50% of AdWord leads come from a mobile device, which means that if you are currently advertising through Google AdWords you are sending 50% of your potential leads to a competitor by not running mobile exclusive ads, which in turn send traffic to a fully mobile capable landing page. Piling on even more evidence as to why mobile-ready content is so important, internet usage on mobile devices has outpaced traditional devices for the first time in history last year. This is a ComScore report to help you visualize what we mean when we say the internet usage on mobile devices has surpassed traditional devices. In 2015, we've seen an explosive 78% growth in the time people spend on their mobile device specifically for the purpose of browsing the internet. Even more surprisingly, we see there in red, the time spent on desktops for internet-related purposes is declining. ComScore has also stated data collected from other studies performed in 2016 and 2017 indicate the gap between time spent on a mobile device versus a desktop continues to grow exponentially. So now that we've sufficiently established the key to attracting customers online is mobile-ready content, let's start to break down what it means to be mobile-ready. Testing content to ensure a positive user experience is mostly an obvious process. In regards to your website, are you able to easily read every word on a mobile device? Can you easily tap on navigation elements? Can you tap the business's phone number and the phone begins to dial? Does everything scale properly to the phone's screen size, which means your website should be free of images that hang off the edge or images that overlap each other. Likewise, text should still be aligned correctly and navigation elements should remain easy to use despite the smaller screen size. And then you'll want to repeat all of these steps on multiple phones to test various screen sizes to ensure your website is going to be user-friendly despite whatever phone's being used. Likewise, you'll want to repeat this entire process again using a variety of tablets, which I know sounds like a daunting task. I'm not going to lie, it is. However, it is a necessary one. Unfortunately, we are beyond the days where a website's design only needs to be concerned with a few monitor resolutions, which in turn would accommodate more than 90% of your website's visitors. Testing the more technical aspects of a mobile-ready website is the subject of our next topic, where we'll explore a few tools that will help you determine if your website satisfies the technical requirements inherent to a mobile-ready website. Our next topic is going to focus on three elements that the IT industry would normally classify under website optimization. The first aspect of website optimization I want to discuss is aesthetics, which is such an important aspect to your website and is often overlooked by the more trendy and buzzwords such as search engine optimization. The importance of website aesthetics is easily seen, though, when multiple research studies have found that you have only 500 milliseconds to make a good first impression. Additionally, those same studies go into further detail and state that we form our opinion on whether we like or dislike a website purely on the aesthetic design. Likewise, that opinion is formulated by just contemplating the website's design for a half a second, hence why you only have 500 milliseconds to make a good first impression. More importantly, though, our opinion on the company, not just its website, is directly tied to whether or not we like the design of that company's website. Which brings us to the most important aspect of website aesthetics is to design according to your audience. I want to highlight just a couple of broad stroke concepts to help you gauge whether or not your website design is working for you or against you without getting too far into the psychology behind best practices of website design. The first concept is matching how colorful your pages are based on the education level of your visitors. Colorfulness is defined by the number and variety of colors on a specific page. Likewise, the brightness of colors can also influence a page's colorfulness. The level of colorfulness that is acceptable to your visitors is determined by their education level. Higher educated visitors prefer designs that are more conservative in their use of color. Complexity is the next largest influencer on whether a visitor will like or dislike your website's design. Complexity is defined by the number of images and text areas, along with the amount of white space that is on a particular page. Likely to no one's surprise, the age of your visitor determines how much complexity you can incorporate into your website's design. As the age of the audience increases, the complexity of the website's design should rapidly decline. And finally, to much of my personal surprise, research has been unable to link gender to any design implication. Therefore, if your audience is predominantly male or female, it has little to no consequence on the aesthetic design of your website. Now, the next most important aspect of website optimization is user friendliness. Just like testing your website on a mobile device, testing for user friendliness is best achieved by asking someone to perform various tasks on your website. Examples include filling out your contact form, purchasing a product, downloading a specific resource such as an ebook or a case study, and then you're going to want to evaluate the person performing the task. How long did it take for them to complete the task? Did the person make any mistakes? Did they ultimately complete the task? All of these questions serve as indicators on whether your website's design is user-friendly or perhaps may need some refining to better guide the visitor in completing the task that you want them to perform. Now, our last topic in website optimization is, of course, search engine optimization. You simply cannot talk about website optimization without addressing SEO. My discussion on SEO, however, is going to be limited to 3 tools that will help you find a starting point for optimizing your website for SEO, which will consequently help you attract customers online. These tools include the Google Search Console, Google's Mobile Friendly Test, and Page Speed. Starting with Google Search Console, this tool is offered for free by Google. Simply Google Search Console and sign up. After verifying the domain that you added during the account creation process, you'll be thrown to this dashboard. And I would encourage you to click on every button and read every report. Everything here is immensely helpful in determining where you stand in regards to being found on Google. There is one report I do want to spend some time on, which is the Search Analytics report. You can find that by clicking on Search Traffic and then clicking Search Analytics. And before I start diving into the report itself, you'll want to add just one item to make your report look like the one I'm about to show you. To do that, all you need to do is check the box next to Position. And with that enabled, let's go ahead and take a closer look at what you can learn from this report. Now here I've scrolled down and resized the window to be able to show you all the columns in this report. This report is a screenshot of our own corporate website, ita.guru, and it is a report that I look at nearly every day since we are still in the process of optimizing our own website for organic search results. This report only has 3 parts. The first part includes all the keywords that can be used to search for your website. Next is the position, which indicates where your website will show up in the Google search results for that particular keyword. And since there are 10 positions per page, any keyword with a position less than 10 means your website will show up on the first page of Google for that keyword. And last, we have clicks. We'll show you how many people that have used that keyword to find your website and then clicked on your website in the search results. This is in contrast to impressions, which tallies how many times your website was included in the search results, but the user did not ultimately click on your website. Now I've included a screenshot of our own corporate website to be able to show you the results that we've been able to accomplish and the efforts that we've expended to achieve those results. And first I will say, be very thorough and careful when choosing an SEO company. We were fortunate enough at the time to have a rather large marketing budget, and therefore we were looking at very large SEO companies that had a national presence so that we could find plenty of reviews and press so that we could thoroughly verify that they could deliver on the promises that they were making. And likewise, we applied our own vigorous vendor selection process that we've built in-house that we use to vet any vendor that we would have to depend on delivering a part of our service. And despite our above and beyond approach in choosing the best SEO company, we ended up spending about $10,000 in about 6 months worth of time only to gain 0 results, 0. And needless to say, we fired that SEO company. And we did the entire vendor selection process again to hire the second SEO company. And we spent another $20,000 in 6 months of time only to gain 0 results, which obviously results in us firing the second company. And now at this point, I had spent over $30,000 over the course of a year between 2 separate companies, and pulling this report would instantly cause me to need a drink. And so I said, screw it, I'll just do it myself. And I proceeded to spend the next 6 months learning the art of SEO. 20 hours of every week for the next 6 months were spent fine-tuning our website for organic search results. And the screenshot shown here is what I was able to accomplish in those 6 months of time. Obviously, it is by no means a place where I could just hang up my hat and call it a job well done. However, it is certainly better than running this report and have it come back with no queries found. And you'll see that we have some very relevant keywords listed here, such as IT Company Dallas, which is great, and another which is on the 23rd position, which is at the third page. Another one here is IT Services Companies in Dallas, which is another great keyword, also on the third page, which are great, and we have several more. We're listed, I think, overall about 150 keywords so far. But this highlights the biggest problem with pouring so much effort, resources, and time into SEO. Until your most relevant keywords hit the very first page of Google, you're still going to see pretty much zero results. As you can see on the clicks tab here, this is for the last 30 days. Zeros pretty much across the board, and unless they were typing in IT policy templates, which we have quite a few on our website that we get quite a bit of traffic from. And so SEO is a huge gamble, and for most small businesses that make that bet and lose will never really recover from it. And all of this wasn't meant to have you burn all of your plans for hitting the first page of Google and never attempting SEO ever. Rather, I went into this amount of depth because I see so many companies, or small businesses rather, blinded by the appeal in SEO and end up pursuing it as the first and primary driver to grow clients online. This is a mistake. SEO needs to come into the picture only after you've established an online presence that is producing a steady stream of income, whether that be through the form of leads or selling products online. But until then, your efforts are much better spent on establishing an online presence via mobile AdWords, a mobile-ready website, and social media advertising, which is something that we'll be discussing here very shortly. The next tool I want to introduce you to is the mobile-friendly test. This tool can be found from the Google Search Console by clicking Mobile Usability, which is the fifth link down from where you found the Search Analytics report. All you need to do is type in a URL at the top, and the tool will immediately start to check several technical aspects to determine that if the page is mobile-friendly. This test is page-specific. The tool does not check your entire website, so you'll want to type in the URL for each page of your website. It is extremely important that this test deems every page as mobile friendly. Otherwise, Google is going to heavily penalize you when it comes to displaying your website in search queries or choosing which position to display your AdWords ad. Google prefers websites that are completely mobile friendly for reasons we discussed earlier, such as the majority of time spent on the internet is with a mobile device. Google didn't become the #1 search engine in the world by not adapting its search results to things like what type of device is the visitor using. It is also important to note that this tool does not replace human testing. This only verifies that your website meets the technical requirements that are inherent to being displayed properly on a mobile website. On a mobile device. It is possible to have this tool say your page is mobile friendly and then pull the same page up on a mobile device and that page looks like a Picasso painting. You still need to ensure that the user experience of your page matches the technical experience for being mobile friendly. The third and final tool we'll be covering that helps with website optimization is page speed, which again is easily found by simply Googling page speed. This tool tests the performance of your website, which includes how fast does the page render, are there any script errors, and so on. How long your website takes to load is a very large factor in Google's algorithm. Now, I'm fully aware that most of you, this is Latin. And my expectations for you when using this report is not to fix the items on this report. Rather, it is a communication tool that will help you communicate the needed technical jargon to a web developer so that it is infinitely easier to obtain quotes and form a scope of work for when you do hire a web developer. You'll have an initial report which serves as the before, and you can run it again after the web developer is finished to make sure that the expected results were truly achieved. And before we move on, I do want to mention that Google standards are set at a rather ridiculously high bar, which means that you'll want to take the score that this report produces with a grain of salt. And for some websites, some of these thresholds set by Google may not even be feasible to obtain. For instance, this screenshot is the page speed report for our own website, and I expanded one section simply to show you how high Google standards are truly set. And you'll see here that our website loaded in 0.86 seconds. 0.86. And Google saw this as an area for improvement. And despite this being labeled as a possible optimization, most web developers would likely tell you the benefit of shaving off a few hundred milliseconds more would not outweigh the cost in doing so. Therefore, your goal is just to simply make sure that there is no red items, which are critical areas that will undoubtedly result in Google heavily penalizing you. So now we're going to transition into how to establish an online presence using social media advertising. Unfortunately, the days of posting an inspirational story and becoming a viral superstar overnight are sadly gone. The marketplace has become saturated enough to guarantee you remain lost in the noise permanently without any outside help. Therefore, to establish an online presence via social media advertising, an understanding of how basic ads work on each social platform is very much necessary. After you have that understanding, you'll want to allocate funds from your marketing budget to targeted ads on the platform that you already see the most engagement from. On average, placing just $1 behind each Facebook page post experiences about 20% increase in engagement. All it takes is a single dollar to immediately jump you in front of the line ahead of every other Facebook business page post that isn't paying for that visibility. One final note I will mention is that it's been my experience that social media advertising is generally geared towards a business to consumer market, not business to business. If you are in the business to business space, I would highly discourage investing in social media advertising as one of your first or primary avenues for generating online leads. And this is simply from not only personal experience, but also the testimony of several of our clients. Now, I realize that stating that social media advertising being not ideal for business to business is a rather bold statement. Therefore, I do want to take a minute to show you that this is a very well-respected report called the Business to Business Web Usability Report, which is compiled yearly by Huff and KO Marketing to support that prior statement. You'll see here from this slide that having a strong online presence through blogs or social media are simply just not decisive factors for your potential business clients. The key takeaway from this slide is that if you're only relying on blogs or social media to drive traffic and leads, you're missing a wider range of opportunity. Your clients and buyers look for vendors that incorporate a strategy that integrates a full range of content assets as well as offline channels such as trade shows and print trade and publications. So far, our topics have focused on parts of the digital equity portfolio that help you attract new customers. For our final topic today, I want to explore another aspect of your digital portfolio, which is embracing mobility via the cloud. Let's dive in and see how embracing mobility in your business can help you create a competitive advantage. First, when we see the word mobility in an IT context, we are typically referring to your ability to conduct your business anywhere in the world, which is a concept that is much deeper than just having the ability to work from home. There are several technologies available to help you conduct your business from anywhere, anytime. And Microsoft has coined this philosophy as a cloud-first, mobile-first marketplace. A few examples of the mobile technologies include direct access, which is where company-owned mobile devices are always connected to the company's internal network, sometimes referred to as an always-on VPN, which allows these devices to access network shares, printers, internal programs such as QuickBooks, your client relation management, and other line of business programs, regardless if that device is at the office or at home. Remote app is similar, but it allows computers that are not owned by the company, so this would be at home or the hotel, friend's computer, to log on to a website that you would provide your work credentials for, and then it would be able to open any program that you would normally use on your work computer, such as QuickBooks, your CRM, ERP, etc. Screen Connect is another wonderful tool similar to LogMeIn or TeamViewer. There's several out there that provide that remote viewing of your desktop from anywhere in the world. And lastly, we have the traditional VPN, which is nowadays really used for your Macintoshes, your Linux devices, your phones, to still be able to have those devices, excuse me, connect to the corporate environment. Whereas a better technology for your Windows clients out there is really going to be direct access or remote app. So what's the value in creating a mobile-first business? The value is being able to hire outside the typical 50-mile radius that limits your available talent pool. If work is accomplished anywhere, anytime, you remove the need for employees to be geographically located near your office. And likewise, you gain the ability to hire higher quality talent for significantly less money for the exchange to work anywhere, which often means never needing to step foot in your office. And understandably, this is a tough concept for many small business owners to embrace for obvious reasons. However, it's a trend that's not going away, and the sooner that you build processes around supporting a mobile and geographically dispersed workforce, the sooner you're going to create that competitive advantage that's going to allow your business to exponentially grow. To thank everyone for attending today's seminar, and I hope that I've accomplished my goal today by providing you with at least one idea that you're able to go back and immediately implement in your business to supercharge its growth. I would encourage everyone to check out the resource section of our website for more webinars on a large variety of topics. And finally, please keep ITA in mind the next time your business needs to design an IT solution. Have a wonderful day.